So, hi guys, it's your friendly neighborhood taxman here to talk about accounting, tax, and react to funny stuff about accounting.
And Tito.
Who's Tito?
Okay. So I guess the topic today would be talking about the tax refund of $1,080, which I thought I could get. So here's the story. I saw this article that came out quite recently when tax time was due. Went into Davie's office, asked him, "Hey man, am I gonna get an extra $1,080?" He looked at me and just laughed me out of the office, which was fantastic. So I guess we'll just talk about this and what our thoughts are. Basically.
Yeah. So basically, it's very misleading. A lot of news articles basically said, yep, or how to receive your $1,080 tax refund, or here's the quick, easy steps for getting it. It's actually misleading completely. It actually is not true. Have you got your $1,080?
No.
Have I got my 1,000? Have you guys got your $1,080? So stop bloody asking your accountants about the $1,080 because it does not exist. It's not a tax refund. It's nothing like that. It's called a, what's it called?
Lamington.
I don't even know why that people would be calling it Lamington. But it's called LMITO, which stands for low to medium income tax offset. Low and middle income tax offsets. My bad. Here's the right one. Low to middle income tax offset.
Yeah, so what is this?
It's basically offset for your taxes. So you know how when you receive taxable income, like you make wages, you make income for your business or you personally, you actually get taxed on that taxable income. So they work out basically your total income for the year, or the tax office, or you yourself when you're lodging your tax return, and then they smack the tax rate on you.
Okay.
And then what happens is the tax offset comes after they smack the tax rate. So assume you made $100,000 in 1 year. Then you say that you got taxed and you get taxed about 25K altogether. Then they have this something called an offset, tax offset. Tax offsets is exactly what it sounds. It's to reduce your tax. That's all it does. It's not a refund because how it works is it reduces your 25K to like maybe 24 or maybe by $1,080. So how it works is if you haven't actually paid that 25K throughout the year, because you're a company or a sole trader and you're running a business, then you don't actually get this, you don't get a tax refund because you haven't paid any tax. So the way it works is it reduces your tax. That's the best way to explain it.
Okay.
And if you've paid too much tax, then you get the refund of 1080. But you never see 1080 on the dot. Like you never get that in your bank account.
Yeah.
And a lot of news outlets, a lot of news articles were saying that how to get it. And then a lot of questions were asked by clients because, I didn't receive my $1,080 because they thought it was just a one-off payment. It isn't. It's not a one-off payment. It reduces your tax. So if you pay too much tax, then you get a bigger amount than $1,080. You might get $3,000 or $5,000. And if you pay too little tax, then you still got to pay tax, just a reduced amount. Yeah. So sounds a bit confusing. Let's look into it more in detail on how it works then. Let's read these articles.
Alright, so the article we got here, tax return, how to receive your $1,080 refund payment. It's done by thenews.com.au.
Yep, tax return, how to receive your $1,080 refund payment. That's misleading completely, don't you reckon? That's probably why you came into my room.
That's definitely why I came into you.
So more than 10 million Aussies are set to benefit from these tax cuts. So straight away then they go into it. So I love how these articles do this. They so misleading. Actually I don't love it, I hate it because then we get the calls and say that we're incompetent because we didn't get the $1,080.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Davie doesn't know what he's talking about. These news articles are, tax experts, mate. Well, what's his name? Let's just look at it. Sarah is an accountant. Must be an accountant. Must be a qualified tax agent accountant, right? Yeah, but she isn't. So I don't think she is. So Sarah, you shouldn't be writing these articles. You need to be a qualified accountant. Let's look into Sarah. Let's find if Sarah is an accountant, a qualified accountant. What? It's not even working. I guess she's a nobody. Anyway, let's go right into it. Okay, so this is actually not a new thing. It's actually been happening for the last 2 years. It happened before during the other GFC as well. They applied this. And what it is a tax cut. It's reducing the tax, as I mentioned before. So the reason why a lot of Aussies are impacted is because the low to middle income tax offset is applicable to all taxpayers up to $126,000.
Okay.
So $48,000 to $90,000, you get the full maximum tax offset of $1,080.
Right.
Yeah. And what that means is that if you make your total taxable income and your total salary, your total wages adds up to any income between this, it means that initially you're going to get taxed at that tax rate of 32.5%. So you would still get taxed at 32.5, but after they work out what your tax amount is, they'll reduce it by 1080.
Yeah.
And if your employers pay too much tax throughout the year, then you get a bigger refund. But the thing is, this has been around for more than 2 years. So the employer, when they pay you a wage per month, per week, per fortnight, they would have already taken a lesser amount of tax out.
Right.
So they would have paid it into your bank account already.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've instead of reducing the taxes at the end of the year and then paying you a tax refund, they've done it throughout the year already.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So there is no tax refund, and there's no bigger amount of $1,080 coming to you, unless your employer didn't update the taxes. When this rule came out last year, everyone would have noticed that the bank payment in their bank account, when they were receiving their wages, were a bit higher by maybe a few dollars or $10 or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's what actually really happened. So a lot of people are thinking, where the hell is my tax refund? But really,
But in reality, they're being paid a little bit more.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're being paid a little bit more because their taxes are a bit lower. So
Well, not really paid a little bit more. Their net cash flow is just a little bit higher.
yeah, just a little bit higher. So you don't really see it, but everyone's thinking that they're going to get an extra $1,080, and they think either the accountant doesn't know how to do a tax return, or two, the employers ripped them off. Or three, they think this $1,080 is going to come one day. But
I'm gonna check my pay slips now. What if my employer's ripping me off?
hope not. Yeah. Okay, so let's look into it. So basically, from all the way up to 90K, you get the full amount, and then gradually from 90K to the 120K mark, I think 126,000, it gets reduced to 1080. So you get less of an offset. But it's funny, hey, like looking at these articles, like they talk as if you're going to get this money. Like, it isn't. It's so not true at all.
It's misleading. Very.
So misleading. Okay, so let's look at another article. So basically all major publications have actually misled everyone, I feel like. It's funny because I'm part of a accounting group and everyone had funny stories about this actually. So, obviously I had Tito here coming into my office, but I've also had clients ask the same question.
Yeah.
So you're not the only one, to be honest. And I've had also my colleagues that I talk to often about accounting and tax, and they also said that, yeah, there's people from the street that's just asking them when they're going to get that money. But it isn't. So this one here, low and medium income tax offset payments to be settled within days. Nothing's going to be settled, mate. It's already been settled. Yeah, don't get it. Don't understand why they keep saying it's going to. What? The first of more than 10 million government handouts to tune up to $1,080 is set to hit Australian bank accounts in just days. Oh my God, that doesn't make any sense. So first things first, this is completely untrue, because how the hell do they know that the first of more than 10 million government handouts? It's not a handout. It's actually, the government isn't dipping into their bank account and then transferring the money over there. So that's completely wrong. I don't even know what that means. What it really is they're collecting less tax.
Yeah.
So yes, they may give a refund, but they've collected too much tax, so that's why they're giving a refund.
Yeah.
It's so untrue, because imagine if you're running a business as a sole trader. You haven't paid any taxes, or you pay too little taxes. A lot of sole traders would think that they're entitled to $1,080. But do you know how the taxes work for sole traders? Like how they get taxed?
It's similar to employees, right?
Yes, but when do they get taxed, and do they normally pay?
They prepaid their taxes.
Yeah, sometimes they prepay their taxes. They only work that out if the previous year they lodged a tax return and they pay taxes. So that's how the ATO will work out that you need to prepay taxes. But if it's your first year running a business as a sole trader, or last year you never lodged a tax return, or last year you never paid any taxes because you were making losses, then you're not going to pay taxes the current year.
Yeah.
So if you haven't paid any taxes, where the hell are you going to get this $1,080 refund?
That's right.
Because he hasn't paid any taxes. They end up lodging their tax return thinking they're going to get $1,080.
But they're not.
Bang, they had to pay.
Yeah.
So it's very misleading. Absolutely misleading. And that's why you get people like Tito running into my office. So yeah, basically, this is basically what it is. Oh my God. This Josh guy, Josh, how do you even pronounce it? Frydenberg, Josh Frydenberg, is the Australian Treasurer. Great news for more than 10 million Australians with tax cuts for low. So he's right, tax cuts. He actually said tax cuts. It's not a grant. How the heck did 7 years turn this into payments coming in within days? That is so bloody unbelievable. Why do people do that? Who wrote this article? Alright, a Euro accountant? I'm watching. A journalist. Does not have a tax agent license. He mastered in law, media, and journalism. Mate, shouldn't be giving tax advice. People actually are gonna lodge their tax return and then
expecting this $1,080.
Yeah, it's so unbelievable how they've misled people. And I'm telling you, this has happened in all major publications. Like it's insane. So more money in your pockets. That is correct. The LMITO, or LMITO, as it's been dubbed, will come at a cost to taxpayers of $7.8 billion. Meaning that yes, the tax office will collect less taxes, but it doesn't mean that there will be a refund or some sort of grant or some sort of payment. Is it really a tax cut? Okay, Mr. Mark Chapman is here as well, and this time around, he's actually talking about it. He's actually talking about it, this guy about. This measure ensures that 10.2 million low and middle income Australians will not see a tax hike of up to $1,080 next year. That's correct. So they're not going to hear a tax hike, but it's not that they're going to get a tax refund. However, let's call this what it is and ignore the government spin on it. Yes, this isn't a tax cut, it's simply a deferral of tax rise. What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Yeah, so basically it means that instead of us collecting the taxes, we're not going to collect the tax. So that's essentially what's happening. Like you're going to get 100K as your wage, or maybe more. Do you want more? But let's just say 100K as a wage, right? And then 25K of it was going to go to the government. So now what the government's basically said, I'm not going to collect 25, I'm going to collect 24K instead. That's it. So that's what he means. It's just going to defer the tax. Like we're not going to collect it now, we're going to collect it next time. That's really what it is. They're just reducing the tax and they're not collecting it now. But next year,
they might collect 26.
Yeah, because that's what's essentially going to happen. It's a temporary measure. It's not actually something that comes in and it's going to stay.
Yeah.
So, you know,
damn.
It's the government, for the government, this is great because it makes it seem like, you know, they're doing a lot for the economy, which they are kind of, but they just like, you know, they're not collecting the tax. But next year, once everyone starts making money again, they're going to remove this and then they're going to start collecting the tax again.
Yeah.
So they haven't cut the tax. They haven't reduced the tax from 32.5% to 30%. They've actually just said, here's a temporary measure of, yeah, we're not going to collect this tax now. But next year, it's back to square one again. Yeah. So, yeah, guys, now you finally understand that don't trust these guys, these, you know, there's these accounting or tax agent imposters. All right, don't get fooled like Tito.
I'll probably be fooled again, probably this time next year. They'll bring this out again.
Hopefully they do. But, like, I'm not complaining because it's free. It is like a lower amount of tax. I wouldn't say it's free money, but it's a low amount of tax, so I get it. All right, that's it, guys. That's Lamington.
Yeah, indeed.
So if you guys have any questions about Lamington, and I mean the chocolate Lamington, you know, the cake, then ask Tito. But if you have any questions about this LMITO, then ask Davie.
Ask Davie.
Ask me.
Ask Davie all the questions.
Yes, ask me.